sadness and suffering. What the heck is going on here with this song? Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. My name is MasterGo, and in today's video, we are going to be taking an extra bit of a deep dive into the most elusive song from BTS. This is Louder Than Bombs. So here we are in 2024, and Louder Than Bombs is still a song that has not had a music video, nor has it had a live performance by the boys. So with this being said, we've only got a lyrical video, and a year ago, Bookish Theory actually made a bit of an explanation on this. So we're going to be checking out these two videos. We're going to be checking out Dial 6137, because we absolutely love Dial here on this channel, and Bookish Theories, Louder Than Bombs. This is the meaning explained, the explosion of the shadow. If you guys do enjoy today's video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell notification so that you can be notified for the next BTS video. All right, it's time to get loud. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna get started here with Louder Than Bombs English lyrical video by Dial 6137. Obviously, the aesthetic is on point with Dial's video already off the bat here. Louder Than Bombs, just the font, the image, and even the graininess of it is always just such a vibe. So I'm going to be leaving Dial 6137's channel and this video down in the description below, as well as Bookish Theory, because of course Bookish Theory's videos are always super informative. And of course, we got to leave her video and channel down in the description below. So let's get started here. Louder Than Bombs. Let's figure this one out. I'm curious about this one. Let's do it. Ooh, heavy bass. Whoa. Oh, there is V, man. You know, okay, I gotta say right off the bat here first, it's been a while since I've reacted to a full BTS song. It's been a minute. I've been on a musical walkabout here, and finally coming back home to the boys, it's just like, oh man, feels so good. These lyrics are pretty, like, the bass is heavy, but I'm already getting kind of like a very, like, I don't know, sad feel to this, huh? The unfamiliar shadow. Okay, so we definitely have, oh, man, this is pretty raw in this one, isn't it? Louder Than Bombs I Break. Whoa, okay, hold on. That hook is like, it's so like, it's powerful, but it's the sad vibe is hitting me hard on this one. Like, it's so serious, like, baby, I'm nothing more than nothing, brighter than the light. Don't you wanna think
from me. You say I'm something or there's something brighter than the light. Don't you give up your life. Here I stay, cry, for better days. Every day amazed, wonder if this is my place.
Man, already RM's hitting me hard on these. What is going on here? Nothinger than nothing. That's some crazy wordplay there. You know, around here we always gotta like really sink in when it comes to RM's lyrics, because it's just there's so much to be had by him.
Baby, I'm nothinger than nothing, brighter than the light. Don't you want anything from me? You say I'm something or there's something brighter than the light. Don't you give up your life. Here I stay, cry, for better days. Every day amazed, wonder if this is my place. Where's my way? It's kundalini ground. All the 무너지는 중력, louder than bounce, yeah. Oh, what to tell you? 어둠은 말해, 어디라도 있단 게 두려워 말해. 어떤 밤이 날 삼켜도 나 포기하지 않아. No, we are fine, we're shine. 너와 나 함께 느껴 슬픔과 고통 우연한 계절대 안녕. Yeah, we pick the sky.
Whoa, Jimin. Sadness and suffering. What the heck is going on here with this song?
밤이 날 삼켜도 나 포기하지 않아. No, we are fine, we're shine. 너와 나 함께 느껴 슬픔과 고통 우연한 계절대 안녕. Yeah, we pick the sky.
That's a hard line right there, because it's like, man, this is a tough one. The feel I'm getting off of this is that it's like there's some sort of regret, and it's like they're at their like lowest form, and then there's still that spark, that passion of you know, we'll make it, we'll do it, but it's like, yeah, this is a hard one. Hold on. They're envious of us. Oh, that back kind of like old classic like phone sound. That's crazy. I like how they change up like the final word of that. Like, it's like the hook isn't just like the same throughout the whole song. It's they say different parts towards it at the end there. That's that end lyric. We'll keep singing ceaselessly to you. This is like a, no matter what waves crash over us. So this must have been at a time when they were, yeah, this is definitely a time when they were at their lowest here, kind of thing, it seems. I remember a time where people have talked about where like there was a lot of self-doubt with the group, and I wonder if this is something to do with that. And it, like I said, like it has this like low point throughout the whole song, this low heavy bass, and it just seems like they're low in general on this. And then it's like this kind of spark is happening every once in a while through the lyrics. Like even like this point here, even towards the end of the very end of the song here, it's like, we'll keep singing ceaselessly to you. It's like there's always just that bit of hope throughout the song. Interesting. This is pretty intense, isn't it? So I guess then this would make sense why there wouldn't be like a live performance of this, because this just kind of seems like it's like yeah, this seems a very low point. Let's okay, enough with like the guessing and stuff like that. We're gonna see what Bookish Theory has to say about this. Let's dive into it, shall we? All right, so this is Bookish Theory's BTS Louder Than Bombs, Meaning Explained, The Explosion of a Shadow. This is a 14-minute and 45-second song, so there must be a lot to talk about here. Let's look into it. Let's figure it out. Love Bookish Theory.
Hello and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video, we'd like to talk about BTS's Louder Than Bombs, focusing on a little breakdown and analysis of the lyrics to see what they can tell us about the Map of the Soul concept. Louder Than Bombs is a song co-written by Troye Sivan, Aram, Suga,
Troye Sivan?
but that explores the world.
Wait. Troye Sivan? Really? Co-written by Troye Sivan, RM, Suga, and J-Hope. Whoa. Really?
Song co-written by Troye Sivan, Aram, Suga, and J-Hope that explores the worries and doubts that are hidden behind BTS's success. Now, if we take a look at the song in the context of the Map of the Soul, Louder Than Bombs is a track that describes the insecurities, struggles, and pain that come to the surface when the shadow takes over.
Interesting.
As we discussed time and time again, in Carl Jung's Map of the Soul, the shadow is the archetype that represents the side of us that we repress in the unconscious and that is hidden behind the mask of the persona.
Okay. So we're going pretty in depth here. Okay, represents the side of us that we repress in the unconscious and that is hidden behind the mask of the persona.
Side of us that we repress in the unconscious and that is hidden behind the mask of the persona. In Louder Than Bombs, however, this part of BTS comes out with such a force that is actually compared to an explosion that is literally louder than bombs. Now, since Map of the Soul 7 is an album that was meant to celebrate BTS's career up to that point, at first glance, the focus on the negative aspects of their adventure might seem strange to say the least. As it turns out, however, 7 is not only a celebration, but also a reflection on the journey that led them to become the people that they are today. Because of that, if songs like Boy With Love focus on the positive, for instance, and songs like Louder Than Bombs acknowledge the more negative sides to show how they were able to overcome them and succeed nonetheless.
Okay, yeah, so this is, yeah, so again, this is kind of like, it's a hard point that they were at. They overcame it, or at the time, it seemed like just in the song in general, it just seemed like that was like them promising, it's like, it's okay, we've got this, but it's tough nonetheless.
As Namjoon himself has explained, the 7 is an album about their shadows and lights. It's about them admitting that all those sides exist within themselves, that they're all equally important in the process of defining their...
I think that that's why we have, even like, when we looked at when we did the unboxing of Map of the Soul 7, there's different sides, there's different versions of it, and there is that dark side which we have, there's also the light side, and inside it shows the boys, you know, with darker tones, darker clothings, wings and stuff like that in the dark, but then on the flip side it's completely different. It's light, it's positivity and stuff. Interesting.
identity, but most importantly, that all the ups and downs are part of a journey that was always meant to be. You see, in the sense
Absolutely. This is one of the biggest things that I say, even just for myself. And making this video is an up for me because I have been down recently, and I have been doing a lot of self-doubt and also feeling like I'm not that great as compared to like a lot of like the other reactors out there. I just felt like I was just like really having a hard time here, but those valleys and those hills are constantly in motion, these ups and downs throughout a journey. And it's times like these where I believe that these kind of videos that I do, especially when songs like this kind of come to my mind, you know, like this is just something that I just like, oh, I want to check this out today. Like this is just an exploration of what I'm feeling at the time. And it seems like this once again has another one of those kind of, I needed to watch this to continue on my journey. This journey is very interesting when it comes to that.
in real life, Namjoon said that to a certain extent, the topics that they discussed in Louder Than Bombs were inspired by the honesty of ARMY. When fans share their worries and struggles with them, they don't do so to make them sad, but rather to lessen the burden.
I thought about letters that I received when I read a post on Weverse. Fans share sad things they had. They didn't do it to make us feel sad. You know, talking about sad things can lessen the burden. Yeah, big time.
Them by talking about things that often cannot be discussed with anybody else. Because of that, when they created Louder Than Bombs, the members had the mindset of embracing their pain with the same honesty that you show when you share yours.
Okay, so it's their way of just talking back to us kind of thing. When I read fans posting about sad things in their lives, I thought about the feelings that we have or our emotions.
As we'll see in a second, however, the pain that BTS are expressing in the song is not just their own, but also ARMY's, because even if the members focus on their own self-doubt, the whole point of the track is to explore a universal feeling that all of us experience when the darkness takes over. At the beginning,
Oh, Bookish Theory, your words are just... That was very beautifully said. The whole point of the track is to explore a universal feeling that all of us experience when the darkness takes over. The darkness.
Universal feeling that all of us experience when the darkness takes over. At the beginning, for instance, the song introduces us to the shadow as something that is both unfamiliar and growing steadily. Much like in the interlude, where the shadow was personified as an entity that took the mic and spoke from its own perspective, Louder Than Bombs presents the shadow as something that grows among the cheers and silences their joy in order to speak its...
Oh, okay, that's a beautiful way of putting it too. So no matter how much there's like the cheer and the joy and everything else, and I think that this is a deeper thought process too, is that when there's the cheer and the joy and the happiness and everything, there's always that underlying shadow. And just like in anything, the sadness and the happiness kind of work as one kind of thing. It's, you can't have one without the other kind of deal. It sucks, but that's life, I guess.
truth. In this instance, the shadow is almost represented as an intrusive thought. It's something that shows up unannounced and drains the positive energy that was there just a moment before.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh, okay, don't don't start getting all messed up from that. That right there is something that I have been talking about in the past weeks, is this my draining of energy, mental and physical energy. And it always just seemed like it's this something where it's like 1 minute I'm feeling really great and I can do something and I can do everything, and then all of a sudden it's just this something that shows up and it takes me out. And I go through it, and that leads to my frustration, and then my frustration leads to a drain in all energy, both positive and negative. It's just like I'm kind of dead, and then it's just, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, how the hell am I going to be able to do anything now? But then I also started realizing that the more you add that thought process into the play, where you're sitting there and you're telling yourself that that negative energy has drained you and you are down for the count kind of thing, and maybe we'll pick it up back tomorrow. I think it's that struggle and that push to get past that hurdle. And I find that BTS helps with that so much. It's just like, it's just so phenomenal. Like, just the lyrics and how, oh, man, it'll never cease to amaze me with these guys.
That shows up unannounced and drains the positive energy that was there just a moment before. So even if the boys are describing the happy occasion of a concert, the unfamiliar shadow claims the attention by drowning the happiness into a silent sadness. Now in the lyrics, this scene is actually portrayed with some references to BTS's previous works. Much like in the song Sea, for instance, armies are compared to a sea, but this time the struggles that all of us are hiding silence the cheers and make this sea a quiet landscape that makes them doubt their intention to only see and hear good things. This is
Interesting.
time the struggles that all of us are hiding silence the cheers and make this sea a quiet landscape that makes them doubt their intention to only see and hear good things. This is a reference to the song 2-3 where BTS.
This was another song actually that I had lined up in my BTS docs. This 2-3 song. This is another time that it's kind of come up, even just today as I was kind of like going through and looking at things. I think this one here is starting to pop out at me more, so maybe we're going to have a reaction to that very soon.
See and hear good things. This is a reference to the song 2-3 where BTS expressed their love for armies by wishing them only happiness in the future. In Louder Than Bombs, however, this resolution falls apart because in the song, BTS essentially realized that the happiness that they see on people's faces is an expression that does not reflect the reality of our everyday life.
Okay, so this has completely taken my thoughts on this song from being something that like this isn't just a struggle of the boys and they're like trying to create. This is everybody. This is a full thing. This is ARMY and BTS together.
Now, in the V-Live, Namjoon actually explained this scenario as something that was inspired by his own experiences. Thinking back at all the faces that he saw during their concerts, he realized that the happy expressions that he saw in the crowd weren't really an expression of how people felt all the time.
Yeah.
Because even if in the moment they were happy, nobody can be happy all the time.
What an awesome thought process to take it from something that, you know, you're looking like as they're performing, they're looking at the audience and then they're just like, I'm seeing something a lot deeper within the sea of people. That's even when fans and we are at a concert hall and fans enjoy our exciting songs, all of us can't be happy all the time, even though we were happy at that moment.
Because even if in the moment they were happy, nobody can be happy all the time. This realization made him feel like all the pain in the world was pouring out all together and
So it started with my realization that the expression you had on wasn't the expression, like the old song lyrics, I'm laughing but I'm not really laughing. Makes me think about how I can embrace all of the pain pouring out. How can I embrace them? Can I?
Louder Than Bombs represents his attempt at embracing all this pain in order to lessen the burden of it all. Just like the waves of the sea of sadness.
So he's trying to take that sadness, and not only from the perspective of creating a concert to take people away from all of the trouble and all of the sadness that they might be going through, but RM is actively trying his best to look deeper into people and BTS in general, but trying to look deeper into people and to be like, hey, there's also this part, and I want to be able to lessen that blow from when you come out of the concert and all things are all said and done. You're not feeling that sad. And I bet you anything, I bet you anything that when an army comes from the concert experience, that high of that concert experiences lasts longer because the deepness, like the deep side of things, when it comes to the songs that they create, is a long-lasting effect, not just an instant gratification. These boys, I tell ya, these boys.
Sadness break against the members and shake them to the core. This pain breaks out like an explosion that is louder than bombs. And the result of this explosion is the members sharing their struggles and worries in their journey to reach their dreams. In the second verse, for instance, RM compares his perception of himself to how Army actually see him. Reflecting on the ways in which he could embrace all the pain that Army feel, Namjoon is overwhelmed by these feelings because he is only human and he is not sure how to find a solution to such a big problem. You see, by saying that he's nothinger than nothing, Namjoon doesn't mean that he is worthless, but rather that his humanity makes him feel like his actions are inconsequential. No matter how much he wants to do, in the grand scheme of things, he's just a man. He feels nothinger than nothing because he's one person against a sea of sadness, but to Army this is not true because for them he's somethinger than something.
And I think that a song like this is so important, especially for newer armies like myself, to be able to say, it's like, okay, so now we're going and we're taking that next step to a deeper meaning into the songs and the lyrics. And from this point forward, now I'm going to be looking at the songs in an expression that is that even though the boys are on stage, they're doing their thing, all of the songs that they're creating is a way to try to battle that darkness, that sadness that's living in all of us, kind of thing. And so now when you listen to even just the songs in general, like, yeah, it's just it's a constant struggle of everything from loving yourself to fighting demons, essentially, to really just trying their best to make sure that Army is safe and sound, they're safe and sound, the group is safe and sound, and everybody is just living their best life. And that right there is essentially what I'm taking away from this.
In the eyes of Army, Namjoon is not only a person that they can trust, but also somebody who makes a difference despite him not always feeling the same way. Even if he's often unsure about his place in the world, the way Army see him give him the strength to keep doing what he's doing. So in the lyrics, RM encourages the audience not to give up on their life as he stays and prays for better days to come. Now once again, the lyrics here are a reference to 2-3, but in comparison to the beginning,
So we're really like bringing in a lot of different songs and kind of like connecting, like specific songs, it seems like, too, that are just like, it's a lot of connecting, a lot of deeper meaning. This is awesome.
beginning where the shadows silence their well wishes. This time around, RM is empowered by Ami's support and reiterates the message of the original song. This is because no matter what happens, life always goes on, and even if at the time that song didn't exist yet, this concept is expressed by saying that every day is a maze and we're all inside of it. Now, the imagery of the maze as a metaphor for life is a symbol that BTS have used time and time again to represent the state of humanity restlessly navigating their existence. Back in Young Forever, for instance, the members were running through the maze of life, holding on to their dream in order to move forward. In Amp-Man, the boys realize that they are heroes, but they're
Sorry, I just realized that this is really low. I'm sorry about that. That was extremely low there. Hopefully that'll help out for anybody that in the comment section that's saying this is really low.
still trapped inside of this maze. And in Love Maze, Suga explained that even if all of us are in a maze walking different paths, love can transform this experience into a paradise. Now, this concept is very similar to the one that we see in Louder Than Bombs, because if on the one hand BTS overcome their self-doubt by focusing on you as their destination, on the other the audience finds comfort in their music as they walk in their own personal maze. Think of it this way, just like a hero in a labyrinth, every one of us goes through life trying to find the right way that will lead us to our destination. Sometimes we're
I think I just looked at the Minotaur and I can never remember who fights, but just the story of that whole like Greek mythology, right? Where it's the person running through the maze. That's like a total metaphor then, because it's like the Minotaur creates the struggle from when you're in your own mind and you're in your own maze, and it's the ability to strike down. I just found, I always thought it was a really cool story of a freaking bull dude.
Goes through life trying to find the right way that will lead us to our destination.
Oh my
Sometimes
God.
we're able to find the right way, sometimes we can find a shortcut, but sometimes we can also run into a dead end and eventually get lost. Sure enough, in the song this is exactly the moment that we're talking about, because in the next verse, J-Hope wonders where is his way as he collapses on his own. Now the question "where's my way" here is actually a direct callback to two different songs. Much like in Louder Than Bombs, for instance, in Lost, the members asked themselves the same question as they wondered which path was the right one to take. In Outro Ego, however, Hobie finally finds an answer, because in that song he tells us that the right way is none other than his own way, and in the video he conveys this idea by entering a new maze that symbolizes a new stage of his life where he's more self-aware. Since Ego represents the combination of their journey in the map of the soul, that song offers a solution that in Louder Than Bombs the members are still looking for. Even if we are not there yet, however, the lyrics already foreshadow a shift, because the message that J-Hope conveys in his verse is that we shouldn't be afraid of the darkness because that shadow exists everywhere.
Yeah.
Even if the night might swallow him, the fact that he fights for you gives him purpose and the strength that he needs not to give up, and
Oh, okay, so he's okay. I see.
in a way invites you to do the same, because at the end he promises that will shine. Now these lines here seem to be a direct callback to Microcosmos, because in that song the members told us that BTS and ARMY are essentially each other's light in the darkness of our lives. Back in that track, BTS explored the philosophical idea that every individual is a little universe that exists as a replica of the larger universe that contains us all. This is a concept that was also
Okay, so this is Microcosmos. Microcosm. Is a small universe, cosmos, old order. Refers to the philosophical concept that every individual is a little universe that exists as a replica of the larger universe that contains us all.
explored in my universe, and both songs follow the ideology that the outer world and the inner world essentially reflect and influence each other in a cosmic way.
Oh yeah, now we're really getting into the weeds now here.
Our
Holy.
experiences reflect on our thoughts and actions, and in turn, the way that we think and act has an effect on the world that surrounds us. But in Louder Than Bombs, this concept is taken to the next level, because just like we can shine for each other, the song tells us that we suffer for each other as well. As Jin and Jimin tell us in the pre-chorus, BTS and ARMY feel pain and sadness together. When one side is happy, then the other side is happy too, but the same applies for the sadness, because when one side feels pain, then the other side feels pain as well. You see, the whole point of this reference to Microcosmos is to convey the idea of universality and collectivity. Since all of us are a little universe, each person is like a small mirror that reflects the outside world inside of ourselves, so the pain that BTS feel coming from you becomes their own, because their little universe contains all of you. This is a concept that heavily relies on connection, empathy, and compassion, but in their case these feelings can also be overwhelming, because if regular people have a limited access to the world, their journey connected them to more people, to more stories, and more feelings as a result. In the song, however, the members are
God. Kind of like what we do here. Kind of like what we're doing here. Everybody's from all over the place. And it's like, it's so much more wider and much more vast than I ever would have thought. Ay, 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 ay. My mind is exploding. It's the explosion of the shadow. Oh my God.
accept this pain because they chose this game and they know what comes with it. As the lyrics say, this is not a coincidence. Like Namjoon explained during promotions, this is a journey that they feel was destined, so the pain that they feel is part of a process that eventually makes them who they are. Now, since Louder Than Bombs is a song that
Wow.
focuses on the shadow, in this instance, destiny is connected to negative feelings, but it's also important to point out that the theme of destiny is also explored in a more positive light in other songs. If in Louder Than Bombs they say the sadness and pain are not a coincidence, in tracks like Serendipity and DNA, they also tell us that love and happiness are not a coincidence either, so even if the song
Okay, so yeah, so again, this is all part of the journey, and this is why I think it's so interesting, because this is why I need to get into full album reviews, and I'm going to be doing that very soon here, because I think it's getting to that point now where, you know, coming in and picking and choosing now, I think it's now time to just dial in on individual albums and just get a full listen through and do a review of those on this channel. So definitely look forward to those as well. But thinking about the exploration of each album from those points now, and this is where there's so many people that have so many like deeper connections to each one of the songs, is because they can connect themselves to those songs at those points. And so with Louder Than Bombs, this is hitting like even myself already through this, just the explanation of it. It invokes a lot of feeling of what I've been going through, how I've been going through it, and where it's led to this point. And you look at like that sadness as contained now almost, because it's that positive meaning that it's like, okay, we see it, we acknowledge it, now we move forward from it. And this is exactly what you're supposed to do. Just on a psychological standpoint, is that you're supposed to acknowledge the shadow, acknowledge that it's there, but don't let it rule you, don't let it lead you into a darker part of your maze. Follow the light, and that light being hope, expression, creativity, happiness, and essentially that's what BTS does. Acknowledge, but follow the light. Follow them to a better tomorrow.
Explores the idea of being overcome by uncontrollable pain, it's also essential to consider what they're saying in the context of their journey as a whole. As I mentioned earlier, the map of the soul is a reflection of their shadows and lights, and both of these sides need to be addressed in order to give a realistic representation of their experiences. Since we're dealing with the shadow concept, the lyrics reflect the worries and responsibilities that they feel in relation to the people that rely on them, and this idea is also expressed in the next lines. At this point, Jin, Jungkook, V, and Jimin admit that there have been times where they feel like they didn't fulfill their role the way that they should have. As the lyrics say, there have been times where they ignored you and days where they kept running away, and even if this realization hits them louder than bombs, it also helps them come to terms with it and promise that they'll essentially make it right. Now in Suga's verse, this sense of responsibility is also explored in relation to the perception that people have of them, because even if ARMY have BTS's back, there are also people that criticize their state of mind because they're famous and they shouldn't be complaining. As the lyrics say, people are jealous of them, they think that their pain is hypocritical, and they keep saying this stuff no matter what BTS actually does. Whether they present themselves as perfect idols or vulnerable people, whether they do their own thing or they speak up about important issues, people always find a reason to complain and invalidate their feelings. Now these lines here actually bring us right back to both Interlude Shadow and William 52, because in both of these songs, BTS talked about the way people seem to think that fame and money can solve every problem, when in fact it's quite the opposite.
And it's so funny because we look at that in even just so many like comments about people that are in higher positions of creative expression and really like through actors, through music, through art, is that it's like, oh man, you make so much money, you should never have a freaking problem in the world. You've got so much and we see it all, it's all out in the open, we can see it, blah blah blah. Means nothing in that sense. It's like, I don't know why there are people that have this perception that money is what is the root of happiness. I can maybe understand if you're in that position where you're first discovering really the world in general, but when you start really realizing that it's like you just take a look, just take a deeper look, a deeper thought process. We talked about this with Roscoe just recently here, where we reacted to one of his videos, is that it's the part of critical thinking to be able to look outside of that mindset, to say, it's like, okay, I see it as a surface level thing, see that they have the money, but how are they actually feeling with that money in hand? You know, like, yes, maybe they might be a lot more comfortable in a lot of situations, but in a lot of other situations, it could actually be creating much more. And so just like with the boys, it's like they may be at the very top echelon of Korean music and really the world in general, but these guys still fight battles. They still have so much about them that is a lot deeper than what a lot of people think. And I think for 99.9% of people that listen to their music, they see that, and this is why they're so relatable, and so we're so able to connect with them, is just from that, is that they can give us that sense of not just a surface level, here's some music, here's some hot beats for you. They have them, but let's go in deeper. Let's explore deeper. And that is the core concept right there of critical thinking, is to be able to dive in deeper.
Back in William 52, for instance, BTS talked about the loneliness that they felt in their journey, while the people that surrounded them minimized their feelings because they were jealous of them becoming celebrities. In Interlude Shadow, on the other hand, the same topic was discussed by focusing on the contrast between people's ideas of success and Yoongi's perception of his experience. If on the one hand people see the spotlight as a source of splendor, on the other, Yoongi sees the shadow that grows along with it. So even if he's got the big house, big cars and big rings that he wanted in No More Dream, Shu gets petrified by anxiety while people mock him for it. If people complain about BTS using their platform to talk about these issues, however, songs like Louder Than Bombs show us how important it is that they actually keep doing so. This is because by sharing these worries, BTS not only normalized talking about mental health, but also helped changing an industry that essentially dehumanizes people in the process of idolizing them.
So that's also a very key point too, is that it's always like, I always think about this as being like, okay, well, you're always fighting against these people's, and the word people, the people's perception is that a lot of people seem to think that there is no changing people's perceptions. It's about how you talk to the people when you're talking to them. It's not telling them that you guys are freaking stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You're haters. There is people out there that are like that, but it's bettering yourself and not going down to those depths of, showing your dirty side to them kind of thing, and creating this toxic whirlwind of just negative emotion. It's about what we just talked about. It's about seeing it, being aware of it, and moving on from it. Also, in the process of while you're moving on, it's about sending that little breadcrumbs of just like, this is why I want to talk to you about my perception of how you feel about the situation, and maybe you could see it in a different light. Because that is also a very important thing about being with people, is it's not just being, contained in your own self bubble, but it's about taking your experiences and your positive energy and spreading it out. And this is how we create new fans. This is how we create new experiences with people. This is how people end up becoming a lot more than what they could potentially be. And that's also part of life's journey, is to also spread your knowledge and spread your positive energy to people that might not be having so much positivity in their life and always basically being sucked into their negative emotions. Maybe this is a way for people to be able to see that they can work with people and help people along the way.
As the lyrics tell us, who's gonna do it if it's not them? And this line brings us right back to Man, where BTS actually asked themselves the very same question.
There's a lot of songs I have not heard. Man, I have never heard a lot of these songs, so we got a long ways to go.
And you see, back then, BTS portrayed themselves as a new generation of heroes who may not look like your traditional superhero, but are still willing to do their best to bring a positive change in people's lives. This is a role that you gave them the moment you allowed them to reach a level of success that gave them the possibility to make a difference, and in Other Than Bombs, they embraced this role by ending this song with a promise. Since ARMY made them who they are, share their worries, and support them so much, in turn they swear that no matter what happens, they will never stop singing for you to bring comfort in your life. If at the beginning your pain drowned the cheers in a silence that was louder than bombs, by the end they promised that they will sing louder than bombs instead. So even if shadows will always exist, they will make sure to bring in your life the light that you need in order to overcome them. So that's it from me today.
Wow, man. Okay. Well, once again, Bookish Theory definitely did not disappoint here with the explanation to Louder Than Bombs. We once again started off with something surface level thoughts. We talked about it. We went through this explanation. We went to a whole new deeper level than I even thought that this video was gonna bring. Oh my god, I absolutely love that so much, is that when we can get together and express so much as a community and as a fan base, and we can see deeper meanings, we can go a lot further. It never ceases to amaze me how much further we can go, but we're still going in. And to think that I haven't even started the BU yet. That is just like, oh my god, my mind's gonna explode. But let me know down in the comment section, guys, what did you think of Louder Than Bombs when you first heard it? What has been your journey exploring this song? What are your stories on this? We always love to see you guys and read what you guys bring out, because honestly, it's like I don't need to read books. I got the comment section. So guys, definitely check that out. And also, if you want to have more conversations about this kind of stuff, definitely come and hit us up in our Discord, discord.gg/glitchedgalaxy. We have all sorts of comments and conversations happening over there about life in general and about what it is like being a fan down this journey. So definitely come and check us out. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right? Bye-bye.